They teach you never to make a deal with the devil, but they never tell you what to do when the devil is the only one who can save you. Anna's hands won't stop shaking as she reads Steve's latest message. I can see you, Anna. Blue dress. Running won't change what you are, mine. She's tried everything. Restraining orders, moving apartments, changing her number. But Steve is relentless and is a psychologist who's made her his obsession, his experiment in control. She enters the city's most dangerous underground club, the Masquerade's Dance, hoping to vanish among Seattle's elite. The ballroom is wrong somehow. Too cold. The guests move like predators. And in the VIP gallery sits a man who doesn't move at all. Silver-haired, handsome, terrifying in his stillness. When Steve's shadow appears at the entrance, Anna makes a desperate choice. She climbs to the gallery and sits beside the stranger, looping her arm through his. Please. Pretend you know me. The man turns. His eyes are frozen mercury. He studies her with the intensity of something ancient, deciding whether to devour or spare. You're using me as a shield, he observes, his voice like velvet over steel. Yes, Anna whispers. He smiles, showing teeth too white, too sharp. Then you'd better hold on tight, darling. Because shields in my world come with a price, and I always collect. Chapter 1. Darren Morris doesn't move as Steve approaches the VIP gallery, but Anna feels the temperature drop 10 degrees. Steve's smile is clinical, controlled, the expression he wears when he's cataloging her failures. Anna, you're embarrassing yourself. Come down here. Darren's hand slides possessively to Anna's waist. The lady is occupied. Steve's eyes narrow, scanning Darren like a specimen. I'm Dr. Stephen Morris, Anna's fiancé. She's unwell, needs her medication. Former fiancé, Anna manages, her voice shaking. We broke up 8 months ago. You can't break up with destiny, sweetheart, Steve says, his tone patient, patronizing. We've discussed your issues with commitment and reality testing. Darren stands, and the casual movement somehow becomes a declaration of dominance. He's taller than Steve, his tailored suit emphasizing a predator's lean strength. Dr. Morris, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to leave my sight before I demonstrate exactly how committed to reality I am. Security materializes from the shadows. Men too large, too still. Steve backs down, but his parting words chill Anna's blood. You can't hide behind strangers forever, Anna. I'll be waiting when you're ready to come home. When Steve disappears, Anna tries to extract herself from Darren's grip. Thank you. I should go. His arm tightens like an iron band. Sit. It's not a request. You stumbled into a private event, Miss? Anna. Just Anna. Well, just Anna. Darren's smile doesn't reach his eyes. You've made a series of catastrophic errors tonight. First, you entered the Obsidian Masquerade without an invitation. Second, you touched me without permission. Third, he leans close, inhaling near her throat. You smell like something I haven't tasted in 3 centuries. Anna's heart hammers. I don't understand. Oracle blood, Darren murmurs. Exceedingly rare. Allows my kind to walk in daylight, see glimpses of what's coming. You're not just running from a stalker, darling. You're carrying a weapon. He produces a business card, black, embossed with silver. Come to this address tomorrow at sunset. Alone. Or I'll let Dr. Morris have you, and when he realizes what you are, He'll do far worse than stalk you. How do you know about Steve? Because, Darren says, releasing her finally, I know everything that happens in my city. And you, Honor, just became very interesting. Chapter 2. Protection has a price. Are you willing to pay it? Honor doesn't sleep. She sits in her studio apartment, Steve's messages piling up. Who was he? You looked beautiful tonight. Don't make me do something we'll both regret. At 5:47 a.m., her door handle jiggles. Honor grabs her phone, but Steve's voice comes through the wood. I'm not trying to break in, Honor. Just want you to know I'm here. Thinking about you. Always thinking about you. She calls the police. They say they'll send someone. They never do. Steve has connections. When sunset comes, Honor takes an Uber to the address on Darren's card. It's a glass skyscraper downtown, the penthouse accessible only by private elevator. The doors open to reveal a space that's more museum than home. Stark, beautiful, lifeless. Darren waits by floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. You came. You said he'd do worse. What did you mean? Honor demands. Darren pours 2 glasses of red wine. At least, she hopes it's wine. Sit. Let me tell you a story about blood, power, and the monsters who crave both. He explains his world. Vampires exist in the cracks of human society. Ancient, powerful, territorial. Darren is king of the Pacific Northwest Territory, but his position is contested. A rival faction called the Crimson Court wants his throne. Oracle blood would tip the scales. If they discover you, they'll take you. Drain you slowly, use your visions to predict my moves, overthrow me, and rule this coast with precognitive advantage. So you're using me too, Anna says bitterly. Everyone wants something. Yes. Darren doesn't lie. But I'm offering a transaction, not ownership. Become my consort, publicly bonded to me. In exchange, I provide absolute protection. No one touches what belongs to the king. Not human stalkers. Not vampire rivals. No one. For how long? 1 year. Then you're free to leave, with enough money to disappear anywhere in the world. Honor thinks of Steve's messages, the door handle turning, the feeling of being slowly suffocated. And if I say no? Then you're on your own, darling. And when the Crimson Court comes, and they will, you'll wish you'd chosen the devil you met over the ones you didn't. Honor looks at the contract he slides across the marble table. Her hands tremble as she signs. Darren's smile is triumph and hunger. Welcome to the darkness, Honor. Try not to drown. Chapter 3. They didn't turn him to kill you. They turned him to own you. 3 days pass in Darren's penthouse. Honor learns the rules. Never leave without his security detail. Never invite anyone in. Never let anyone draw her blood. Not even for medical tests. She's given a platinum bracelet embedded with a tracker and spelled with protective wards. It feels like a shackle. She feels like property. But Steve's messages have stopped. For the first time in months, Honor sleeps through the night. Then Darren's head of security, a severe woman named Cassandra with ice blue eyes, bursts into Anna's room. We have a problem. Your ex made contact with the Crimson Court. They show Honor surveillance footage. Steve entering a nightclub downtown, meeting with a pale woman in crimson silk. The woman is beautiful, ancient, cruel. That's Serafina, Darren says, his jaw tight. the Crimson Court's matriarch. She's 3,000 years old and collects humans the way children collect insects. The footage continues. Steve is drinking, talking animatedly. Then Serafina leans across the table and bites his wrist. Steve doesn't scream. He watches, fascinated, as she drinks. No, Anna breathes. They're turning him. Not just turning him, Darren corrects grimly. She's giving him oracle blood. Small doses, stolen from another source. It won't give him full future sight, but it'll give him flashes, seconds ahead in combat, just enough to predict and counter attacks. Anna's stomach turns. Why? Because Steve already knows how to hurt you, Darren explains. Your triggers, your fears, your weaknesses. Now imagine that knowledge in a vampire body with precognitive reflexes. They're not making a soldier, Anna. They're making a key specifically designed to unlock you. He'll come for me. He'll come for both of us. You're his obsession. I'm his obstacle. Serafina is giving him the tools to eliminate me and claim you. That night, Anna stands on the balcony, watching the city lights blur through rain. Darren joins her, silent. I was so stupid, Anna whispers. I thought if I just explained better, loved better, stayed calmer, he'd let me go. Men like Steve don't let go, Darren says. They tighten their grip until you can't breathe, then blame you for suffocating. He turns her to face him, his expression uncharacteristically gentle. You're not stupid, Anna. You survived. That's more than most can say. 2 nights later, Steve makes his move. He appears on the building's security feed, pale, transformed, eyes glowing faint amber. He looks up at the camera and smiles. Tell Anna I'm coming home. Chapter 4. In a room full of predators, he only sees you. Darren insists Anna attend the Winter Solstice Gala, a vampire social event where alliances are made and broken. If you hide, you look like prey. If you stand beside me, you're untouchable. Anna wears a gown the color of midnight, her hair swept up, diamonds at her throat, Darren's diamonds. She looks like a queen. She feels like bait. The gala is held in a renovated cathedral, now a private event space. Hundreds of vampires in formal wear drift through the space like beautiful ghosts. Anna feels their stares, their hunger. Darren's hand at the small of her back is the only thing keeping her grounded. He introduces her to allies, ancient vampires who bow to her, kiss her hand, call her my lady. It's intoxicating and terrifying. Then the doors open. Serafina enters in crimson velvet, her white hair piled high, rubies dripping from her ears. Beside her, wearing an ill-fitting tuxedo and looking simultaneously lost and dangerous, is Steve. He's beautiful now, sharp features refined, skin luminous. But his eyes are wrong. Hungry. Fixed on Anna with laser intensity. Darren, Serafina purrs, gliding forward. How lovely. And you must be Anna. I've heard so much. Steve steps forward. Anna, you look incredible. I've missed you. His voice is the same, warm, familiar, the voice that used to tell her she was overreacting, imagining things. Anna's carefully constructed walls begin to crack. Steve, what have you done? I've evolved, Steve says, his smile too wide. For us. I'm strong enough to protect you now. Come with me. Leave this pretender. He's just using you for your blood. Darren's hand tightens on Anna's waist. A warning. The lady is exactly where she chooses to be. Is she? Steve's eyes flash. Anna, remember what we talked about? Your issues with decision-making? Your dependency on external validation? You're just trading one cage for another. It's manipulation. Textbook psychological abuse. But hearing it in front of hundreds of witnesses, Anna feels shame heating her cheeks. Before she can respond, Steve moves. It's impossibly fast. He grabs Anna's wrist, yanking her forward. Darren intercepts, but Steve's already seen the move. He twists, using Darren's momentum against him, throwing the Vampire King across the room. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Precognition, Darren growls, rising. Serafina, you've broken the accords. No turning without territory permission. I turned a willing human, Serafina shrugs. He begged for the gift. Quite touching, really. All for love. Steve backs toward the exit, still holding Anna. I'm taking my fiancée home. Anyone who stops me proves you're all keeping her prisoner. Anna makes a choice. She drives her elbow into Steve's solar plexus, a self-defense move she learned from YouTube but never dared use. Steve stumbles, surprised. Anna runs back to Darren. I choose to stay. Steve's expression transforms from surprise to rage to something worse. Cold calculation. Okay, Anna. Okay. We'll do this the hard way. He pulls out his phone, dials. Hi, Mrs. Chen. It's Steve. Anna's been in an accident. You need to meet me at Swedish hospital right away. Anna's blood freezes. My mother, she trusts me, Steve says. Thinks I'm a nice boy who's worried about her troubled daughter. I'll pick her up in 20 minutes. Unless you'd like to come have a conversation. Darren moves forward, but Serafina blocks him. Our new protégé made a civilian phone call. No violence occurred. Per the accords, you can't touch him. Steve walks out, victorious. Anna collapses. He has my mother. Darren's eyes burn crimson. Then we get her back. Chapter 5. Some chains are chosen and those are the strongest. Darren sends his team to intercept Anna's mother, but Steve's precognition keeps him one step ahead. He moves her to different locations every hour, texting Anna updates. Your mom's fine. Just want to see you. Come alone to the port of Seattle. Pier 47, midnight. Or I start explaining to her how vampires are real. It's a trap, Cassandra states the obvious. He'll use the mother as leverage to take Anna. I know, Darren says coldly. That's why Anna isn't going. I'll retrieve the mother myself. No, Anna interrupts. This is my fault. My mother, my ex, my blood that started this. I'm going. You're not thinking clearly. I'm thinking clearly for the first time. Anna snaps. I'm tired of being protected, managed, moved around like a chess piece. Steve's obsessed with me. I'm the only leverage we have. Darren studies her for a long moment. You want to use yourself as bait. I want to use myself as a weapon, Anna corrects. Teach me. Whatever you know about fighting vampires. Teach me. They have 6 hours. Darren trains her in brutal crash course. Pressure points that work on vampires, how to use their speed against them. The fact that newborn vampires are stronger but reckless. Steve's precognition sees seconds ahead, but it's not foolproof. Flood him with options. Make chaos. He can't predict randomness. How do I make chaos? Darren hands her a silver lighter and a bottle of 151 proof rum. Vampires heal fast, but fire hurts like hell. And newborns are vain. They haven't learned to control the hunger. Get him angry, he'll get sloppy. At 11:45 p.m., Honor stands on Pier 47, rain soaking through her coat. Darren and his team are positioned on surrounding rooftops, but she's alone on the dock. Steve emerges from a shipping container, her mother walking beside him in a daze. Vampire compulsion. Anna, her mother calls. Steve explained everything. You've been so sick, honey. He's trying to help you. Let her go, Steve, Honor says. This is between us. That's what I've been saying for months, Steve replies. He looks hurt, wounded. I just want to talk, Honor. Explain why I did this. I became this thing, this monster, for you. So I could be strong enough to keep you safe. Safe. Honor laughs bitterly. You broke into my apartment. Sabotaged my job interviews. Convinced my friends I was unstable. Because you were making bad decisions. Steve's voice rises. That dating app guy, the co-worker, they weren't good enough for you. I was protecting you from yourself. You were controlling me because you're terrified of being alone, Honor counters. Darren's words echo in her head. Make him angry. Steve's eyes flash amber. I loved you more than anything, and you threw it away like garbage. He moves fast, crossing the 20 feet between them in a blink. Honor doesn't run. She uncaps the rum, douses herself, flicks the lighter. One more step and I light myself on fire. You know Oracle blood? The compounds degrade in heat. You'll lose everything you want. Steve freezes. His precognition must be showing him a dozen futures where she actually does it. You're bluffing. Try me, Honor says. I spent 2 years wishing I was dead rather than with you. What makes you think I won't choose fire? Movement explodes from the rooftops. Darren's team descending. But Steve's precognition kicks in. He's already moving, using Anna's mother as a shield. I saw this too, Steve says. Checkmate, Darren. Darren appears from the shadows, his eyes blazing crimson. You've miscalculated, Stephen. You saw my team. You didn't see her. Honor throws the rum bottle. It shatters against Steve's chest, soaking him. She lights the lighter. You wanted me to stop being helpless? Congratulations. I learned. She tosses the flame. Steve ignites like a torch, screaming, releasing Anna's mother. Darren is already there, pulling Mrs. Chen to safety. Steve rolls, padding out the flames with vampire speed. His skin is charred but already healing. He looks at Honor with something between heartbreak and homicidal rage. You chose him, Steve whispers. After everything, I chose me, Honor interrupts. For the first time in my life, I chose myself. And yeah, that means choosing someone who doesn't make me feel like I'm drowning. Serafina's voice echoes from the container. Enough. Stephen. Return. The girls made her position clear. Steve backs away, his eyes never leaving Honor. This isn't over. I have eternity now, Honor. I can wait. He vanishes into shadows. Darren wraps Honor in his coat. That was reckless, foolish, and possibly the most magnificent thing I've ever seen. Anna's adrenaline crashes. She shakes violently. I need to make it permanent. The binding. Whatever turns me from consort to queen. I need to be strong enough that he can never touch me again. Darren's expression turns serious. The binding ritual is irreversible. Honor. You'll be bonded to me supernaturally. Feel what I feel, see what I see. And it requires your blood. Then take it, Honor says. Make me untouchable. Chapter 6. She stopped running from monsters. She became one. The binding ritual happens in Darren's private chamber beneath the penthouse. A room carved from stone, lit by candles, covered in symbols Honor doesn't recognize. Cassandra performs the rites, speaking in languages dead before Rome fell. Honor kneels across from Darren, their hands clasped over a silver chalice. Once we begin, there's no retreat, Darren warns. You'll be bound to vampire royalty. Enemies will hunt you forever. Your human life ends tonight. It ended the moment I sat beside you, Anna replies. Let's make sure it meant something. Cassandra cuts Anna's palm. Oracle blood wells up, glowing faintly in the candlelight. It drips into the chalice, mixing with wine older than countries. Darren drinks first, his eyes rolling back as visions flood him. He sees futures branching like lightning. Steve's attacks, the Crimson Court's moves, his own strategies. Then Anna drinks. The world tilts. She feels Darren's age, his power, his centuries of hunger and control. She sees his first death, his maker, the wars he's fought. And she sees his loneliness, the weight of immortality without connection. Their eyes meet. Understanding passes between them, wordless and complete. I see you, Honor whispers. I see you, Darren responds. When the ritual completes, Honor feels different. Stronger. Her senses sharpen. She hears heartbeats in neighboring buildings, smells blood like copper roses, sees in the dark. The bond doesn't make you vampire, Darren explains. But it makes you more than human. You'll age slowly, heal faster, and our enemies will feel my claim on you like a brand. 3 nights later, Steve makes his final play. He attacks Darren's penthouse directly, armed with Crimson Court reinforcements. But he didn't account for one thing. Anna's oracle blood has given Darren the same precognitive gift Steve wields. They're equally matched in foresight now. The fight spills across the penthouse. Vampires moving so fast they blur, steel clashing, supernatural power crackling. Steve and Darren circle each other, both seeing the same futures, both adapting. Steve lunges. Darren parries. They're locked in stalemate. Until Honor steps between them. Steve, stop. Please. You've already lost. Steve's face contorts. I haven't lost. I've evolved. I'm perfect now. Strong enough for you. You were always strong enough, Anna says quietly. That was never the problem. The problem is you never saw me as a person, just a possession that validated your existence. Even now, you're not fighting for love. You're fighting because you can't stand that I chose something over you. Steve's precognition shows him 100 futures. In all of them, Honor chooses Darren. His perfect vampire mind fragments under the weight of inevitable rejection. He screams, lunging not for Darren but for Honor. If he can't have her, he'll destroy her. Darren moves with the speed of pure protective rage. He intercepts Steve mid-lunge, driving him backward through the glass window. They tumble 50 stories, locked together. Cassandra's team is already moving. Anna runs to the shattered window, her heart in her throat. On the street below, Darren stands over Steve's broken body. The fall wouldn't kill a vampire, but the wooden debris impaling Steve's heart does the job. Serafina's reinforcements retreat, their weapon destroyed. Darren looks up at the penthouse, his eyes finding Anna. She feels his satisfaction, his relief through the bond. He's safe. They're safe. 3 months later, Anna stands in the penthouse wearing a black gown, Darren's arm around her waist. Below, the city stretches out, a kingdom she now understands, full of shadows and teeth. Her mother lives in a secure facility, her memories of vampires gently erased, believing Anna married a wealthy businessman. She's safe. Happy. Regrets? Darren asks. Anna considers. She's bonded to a vampire king, targeted by supernatural enemies, living in a world of blood and darkness. She's also free from Steve, protected absolutely, and powerful in ways she never imagined. Not even one, she answers. Darren smiles. Good. Because the Crimson Court is regrouping, and Serafina doesn't forgive. War is coming. Let it come, Anna says. She's not the woman who crashed a masquerade ball hoping to hide. She's the queen who chose her monster and made him hers. I'm ready. She stopped running from the monsters. She learned to stand beside one. And in the darkness, she finally found her light. Thanks for watching till the very end. See you on the next.